This is The Worst of Times, a short novella written by me to be read aloud to you in celebration of 5,000 subscribers. Chapter 1. It was in 2025, a year when things could not have been better or worse, that I completed my lifelong pursuit, the thing I had dreamed of in my youth and had begun making a reality a few years after that. You may have heard of a man called Albert Einstein. I am not experienced in his theory of relativity, but from what I have heard of it, it states that time travel into the future is possible, if difficult. Time travel into the past, however, is nigh on impossible. I do not believe Einstein could have been thinking of traveling hundreds of years into a future time, but when I heard this statement, it filled me with joyous ecstasy, and I decided to go out and see if travel into future times could truly be achieved. From the very beginning, I was beset with doubt and uncertainty, but I resolved to attempt the experiment anyways. I had little hope that I would actually succeed, until several months ago, when I finally did. I began by reading every sort of fictional book on the subject that I could lay my hands on. H.G. Wells's classic novel, The Time Machine, was by far the most fascinating to me, and it was what first put the thought in my mind that I could write a book just like it, a work, if published, regarded and marketed as fiction, but in reality more true than any history book you will ever read. I will not reveal my name. I am to be referred to as the Time Traveler. My true name must remain a secret until the end of all times. Neither will I reveal the methods by which I at last managed to travel through time. Only after my adventure have I considered that it might have been better had I not built a time machine. After all, if the good Lord had wanted me to be in the time to which I traveled, then I suppose he would have put me there. And yet, the good Lord allowed me to travel through time nonetheless, so perhaps there is a reason as to why he allowed me to do this. I began my great work by writing and reading and thinking on the subject as much as I could. Many sleepless nights I had over it. The first thing I knew was that traveling into a future time would be perhaps the most perilous, most foolish thing a man could ever conceive to do. The future is unknown, as it is unknown when the day of judgment may come. If I traveled into the future, I could travel into a time after which the day of judgment may have already occurred, and what then? Would I go to heaven immediately, or might I be stuck there for eternity? Or would I not even be able to get past the day of judgment? These questions still are unanswered, and I firmly believe that there is no reason to have them answered. If the good Lord had intended for me to know, he would surely have revealed it to me. I began working on my time machine after half a decade of tireless research, and building this thing sucked so much out of me that I could hardly sleep, nor go about my daily duties. I never married, never even considered it, so consumed was I by my work. I lost my job and barely ate, but I was determined to complete my project. I'd become a street thief, scrounging for food wherever I could find it, collecting pennies from beneath vending machines. I lost my home, and in a remote area untouched by civilization, I continued my great work. After nearly 2 decades of this, my time machine was complete. The very first thing that I did was praise God, thanking him for giving me the strength to complete my work. The reason for which I built this thing, for which I had nearly worked myself to death for, was mere curiosity. Curiosity, indeed, is both a help and a hindrance. It depends, I suppose, on how one chooses to use it. After I had completed the building of my time machine, I spent several days sleeping and resting. When I felt refreshed and rested enough, I bought myself the largest meal I was able to afford with what little money I found in my possession. After that, I was prepared to go into the future. I was prepared to see where my 25 years of hard work would lead to, ready to see if time travel was truly possible, contrary to the beliefs of many. I will not reveal how I did this thing, how I managed time travel. It was a terrible thing that I achieved. The process of how I did it does not need to be known. nor will I describe the physicality of my machine. It does not need to be made known to anyone, for if it were known, surely they would use it, and society would bend it, use it for evil purposes. I set the date to a time which I supposed was reasonable. I did not wish to go too far into future times, partly because of what I had read in Mr. H.G. Wells's book, and partly because I was worried what the far future could hold, what it could do to me. And so, I decided upon the year 2098. That is the end of Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is coming tomorrow.